Karizmatik.
Today, we are exploring a mental technique called the placemat process, a method for radical delegation that asks a pretty wild question. What if you could hire the universe as your personal manager?
We'll be breaking down the origins of this concept from Esther Hicks, the psychological mechanism of removing resistance, and how the source material argues this simple act of list-making can solve complex problems without physical effort.
Hello, everyone.
Warm greetings to you all.
We're really happy to be back with another episode.
At Karizmatik, we truly work around the clock to create content that's useful for you.
More than 50 people contribute with care and precision across our network of channels so you can have the best possible experience.
If you're enjoying this, please share the video with others.
That small action helps the show reach more people and gives us the energy to keep going better and stronger.
Shall we begin?
Let's crush it. Okay, so I want to start this deep dive with a visualization. It's one the source material uses right at the beginning, and, well, I think a lot of us are going to find it very relatable.
It's a pretty high-stakes scenario.
Yeah.
Extremely. So just picture this with us. You are at your absolute limit. You're at the kitchen table, maybe head in your hands. You are totally overworked. Debt is piling up, and you have all these unfinished tasks just screaming at you.
You're basically drowning. A state of total burnout.
Exactly. And then suddenly there's a knock at the door.
Okay.
You open it, and it's not a neighbor. It's a billionaire. But not just any billionaire. The source says to imagine someone with more power than a president.
Someone who can make huge things happen with just one phone call.
Right. And the key is they know you. They know your situation.
So they're not a stranger.
Not at all. They look at you with, real understanding and say, I know you're tired. I know about the financial hole you're in. I see the anxiety.
Wow.
And then they slide a piece of paper across your table. It's called a golden contract.
And this is really the anchor for our whole discussion today, isn't it? This billionaire manager analogy.
It is. Because the billionaire says, I want to be your personal manager for free, which, that immediately sounds too good to be true. What are the terms of this contract?
The terms are fascinating. They tell you, your job is to do this simple, fun stuff. Drink your coffee, enjoy your day, handle the little easy tasks.
And the manager?
The manager handles the heavy lifting. They solve the big problems. They find the money. They deal with the toxic people, all the hard stuff.
So they're basically offering to take over the entire struggle part of your life.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the source poses this question. Do you sign it? Or do you look at this person and say, no thanks, I'd rather stay here and get crushed?
Logic would say 100% of people sign that contract on the spot.
You would think so. But this is where the source material makes a huge pivot. It argues that this manager actually exists.
Okay.
And it explicitly identifies this figure as the universe or God, depending on your personal beliefs.
And the critique then is that most of us are essentially saying no to the contract.
It's actually worse. The source says we sign the contract, we hand over the problem files.
And then what?
And then 5 minutes later, we're breaking into the manager's office and stealing the files back.
That is a powerful image. We're micromanaging the universe.
We are. We're insisting on doing a job we aren't even qualified for. The struggle we feel, that grinding anxiety. The source calls that resistance.
And it comes from trying to do the manager's job.
Exactly. So today's deep dive is really about drafting a letter of resignation. We are resigning from the position of general manager of the universe.
I love that framing. And to do that, we're looking at a specific tool called the placemat process.
Which sounds, almost deceptively simple. Like something you do at a diner with a crayon.
Well, you're not wrong. That's almost exactly where it comes from. The name placemat process, or Zurabashvagabi as it's called in the source, it comes from a story about Esther Hicks and her husband, Jerry.
Right. For anyone who might not know, Esther Hicks is the voice of the Abraham Hicks material, a huge figure in this space.
She is, but in this story, she wasn't a guru. She was just a very, very stressed out person.
What's going on?
They were building a house. And if you've ever managed a construction project, you know it's just a breeding ground for stress.
Oh, it's the ultimate test for sure.
Totally. So projects were behind schedule, contractors were just missing in action, costs were going up, and Esther was completely overwhelmed. Anxious, complaining, just vibrating with stress.
So they go out to lunch just to get away from it all.
Exactly. They're at a restaurant and she's just venting, this isn't done, that guy didn't show up, how are we going to fix this? Just spiraling. And in the middle of all that, she gets an instruction from her inspiration, Abraham.
And that instruction was to use what was right there on the table.
Yes. She was told to take a paper placemat, that's where the name comes from, and draw a line right down the middle.
Okay, so just picture this. A placemat, 2 columns. What are the headers?
On the left side, the header is things I would like to do, and on the right side, it's things I would like the universe to do.
Simple enough. What did she actually put on her side?
And this is the critical part. On her side, the me side, she wrote really small, manageable things.
Like what?
Like eat lunch, visit the hardware store, take a nap, things she could actually do right then and there.
And on the other side, the universe's side.
That's where she dumped all the heavy stuff. Get the contractor to call, fix the funding, make the construction move forward.
So she just outsourced the stress.
Completely. And the source claims the results were basically immediate. Like, by the time they finished eating, the contractor, who had been unreachable for weeks, called them.
Wow.
And the funding issues just resolved themselves. The source really emphasizes this happened without Esther physically forcing anything.
Okay, that's the aha moment, right? But I have to be the skeptic here for a second. A lot of people listening will hear that and think, that's a nice story, but how does that actually work? It sounds like magic.
It does sound like magic, but the source breaks it down into a mechanism. It's based on something they call the illusion of responsibility.
Let's unpack that. Because this split between what we do and what the universe does feels like the core idea.
It is. The source says all tasks in life fall into 2 buckets, type 1 and type 2.
Okay, so what's a type 1 task?
Type 1 is a physical task. It's an action your body can literally perform. Making a phone call, walking to your car, signing a paper, typing an email.
Okay, so apply for the job would be a type 1 task.
Filling out the application is type 1, but getting the job, that's type 2.
Ah, okay, I see the difference. So type 2 is the outcome.
Exactly. The source calls type 2 tasks engineering conditions. These are complex outcomes that have variables outside of your direct control.
Like other people's decisions or timing or just plain luck.
Right. Changing your boss's mind, getting a loan approved, meeting the right person.
That is such a crucial distinction. I think we mix those two up all the time. We think getting the loan is a task on our to-do list.
And the source argues that's the root of all our anxiety. We try to perform a type 2 task with type 1 effort. We try to force the loan to get approved just by worrying about it.
And that's when you get the migraines and the stress.
It's like trying to lift a building with your bare hands. It is literally above our pay grade. The placemat process is just a sorting tool to get you to stop trying to lift the building.
It's resigning from the how.
Yes. You resign from the how, and you focus only on the what and the now.
All right, let's get super practical. If someone listening is feeling that burnout we described, and they want to try this today, right now, how do they actually do it step by step?
It's simple. You start with any piece of paper. Draw that vertical line right down the middle.
Okay, left side is my zone, right side is the manager zone.
Correct. Now, there's a really strict rule for the left side. For your side, you can only list things you can do today. And this is crucial. They have to be things that feel good or at least neutral.
Give us some examples from the source.
Things like eat a great breakfast, call a friend, tidy up my desk, take a shower.
So nothing that makes your stomach turn? What if I have to make a difficult phone call that I'm dreading?
Yeah.
Does that go on the left?
Well, that's a bit of a gray area, but the source suggests that if the resistance to it feels really high, you put the desired outcome of the call on the right side.
I see.
You might put make the call on the left only if you feel you can do it without that sense of panic. If it feels heavy, it does not go on the left.
Okay, that's a great rule of thumb. Keep the left side light. So what about the right side? The universe's zone.
This is your cosmic dump. Everything that causes you stress, everything you don't know how to solve, everything you feel you lack the strength for, it goes there.
And the source gives some pretty big examples, right?
Oh, yeah. Triple my income. Reconcile with my spouse. Find a perfect client. Fix the car.
You know, fix the car is a perfect example of that type 1 versus type 2 thing we were just talking about.
It is. Unless you're a mechanic, you can't physically fix a transmission. Your type 1 task is drive the car to the shop.
Right.
The type 2 task, the actual repair, the outcome, that's out of your hands. You give the keys to the mechanic. You don't stand over their shoulders screaming at the engine.
And yet, that is exactly what we do with our own life problems. We stand there screaming.
Precisely.
Now, there's also a specific emotional component to this, right? You can't just write the list down like a robot. The source calls it a billionaire tip.
Yes, and this might be the most important part of the whole technique. The writing is just a prop. The real work is the feeling. When you write an item on the right side, You must heave a physical sigh of relief.
A literal sigh.
Yes, a physiological release of that burden. You have to view it like you're physically handing a file to a top-tier lawyer.
That's a great analogy.
I mean, if you were in huge legal trouble and you hired the best lawyer in the country, you wouldn't then go to court and try to argue the case yourself, would you?
No, you'd be relieved. You'd think, thank God they've got this.
Exactly. You hand them the file, say, handle this, and you go home and you sleep. You trust them. You don't sit up all night worrying about the legal brief. That's the feeling. You just go drink your tea.
Thanks for staying with us up to this point. If it's been helpful, send it right now to one person. Your single share really motivates our team. So we've resigned from our stressful job. We've handed the files over to the cosmic lawyer. We've sighed with relief. But why does this work? I mean, is it just a placebo effect?
Yeah.
Positive thinking?
The source gets into the mechanics here, and it argues it's not magic, like waving a wand. It's more like fluid dynamics. It's about resistance versus allowance.
Right. We mentioned resistance earlier, that feeling of struggle.
Exactly. So the source uses the analogy of a dam. All your worry, your anxiety, you're stressing about the how, that acts like a physical dam blocking a river.
And the river is the solution. The money, the opportunity.
Whatever you want. It's trying to flow to you, but the dam is in the way.
So when I sit there obsessing over my debt, I'm not actually helping solve it. I'm building a wall.
According to this theory, yes. Your worry is the concrete for the dam. By assigning the task to the universe, by writing it on the right side of the placemat, you're effectively blowing up the dam.
You're dropping your resistance to zero.
And when resistance hits zero, boom, the water flows. The source argues this is why the phone can ring right after you truly let go. It's not that the universe wasn't working before.
It's that you were standing in the way.
You were blocking the door. There's a quote the source mentions from Esther Hicks' book, Ask, and it is given.
What's that?
It says the universe has very capable staff.
I love that phrasing. Capable staff.
Yeah.
It makes it sound so orderly and, like, corporate.
It's funny, but it drives home the point. Your only job is to keep your own mood high, keep your side of the placemat clean and happy, and let the staff handle the logistics.
But there's a huge trap here. And I think this is where, 99% of people probably fail with these kinds of techniques.
Yeah.
The source gives a big warning about stealing.
Yes. This is the failure point. You write, fix my financial situation on the universe's side. You feel great for, 12 minutes?
Right.
And then you open a bill and you immediately start worrying about it again.
You just stole the file back.
You snuck back into the CEO's office and you grab the file right off their desk. And the source says if you do that, you're back to square one. You are the general manager of the universe again, and you get the migraine that comes with that job title.
So what's the correction? Because worry is a habit, right? It's hard to break. If I catch myself stealing the file back, what do I do?
You have to catch yourself mentally. The source suggests a little internal script. You say, excuse me, this is not in my inbox. This is on the manager's list.
Yeah, no.
And then you have to immediately pivot back to a type 1 task. Drink your tea, pet the dog, organize a drawer, something simple that keeps you in your lane.
It really is a discipline of the mind, isn't it? It sounds so easy. But not stealing that file back is probably the hardest part of this whole thing.
It absolutely is. It requires vigilance.
Now, I want to zoom out a little bit. In the source material, this placemat process is presented in a very specific context. The speaker calls it a painkiller.
Yeah, that's an important distinction. The source treats this as a tool for immediate acute pain. Like, if you're overwhelmed today, do the placemat, feel better. But then it pivots to what it calls a cure.
And this is where they bring up the VIP Explosive Growth Workshop, or CARGA.
Right. And just reporting on what the source says, this is described as a 90-day intensive course. The claim is that while the placemat process helps you get through the day, this workshop is a complete roadmap to actually changing your brain's operating system.
And it looks like it's trying to synthesize ideas from a lot of different teachers. The source mentions Kevin Trudeau, Esther Hicks, Bob Proctor, Nettle Goddard.
It does. The argument is that instead of having all this scattered information, a video here, a book there, this creates one executable system.
And the goal is what?
The goal mentioned is to identify your hidden mental breaks and make the vibration of wealth a 24-hour habit, not just something you feel for a few minutes.
So if I'm getting this right, the placemat is the aspirin.
And the workshop is the lifestyle change. That's exactly how the source positions it. It's the difference between treating the symptom and rewriting the code.
It's interesting to see it framed like that. It's just one drop in this much larger ocean. But regardless of any workshop, The technique itself stands on its own as a tool for immediate relief, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You don't need anything else to use the placemat. It's a standalone tool. And I think the core message really is all about choice.
That's a great way to wrap this up, because the source really hits home that we have a choice in every moment, even when we feel completely powerless.
You can choose to be the person carrying the weight of the entire world, trying to engineer these conditions you can't control and just crushing yourself. Or you can realize you have a billionaire manager waiting at your door.
The manager's there, the capable staff is ready. The only question is, are you willing to finally let go of the file?
And keep your hands off of it.
That is the challenge, right? Maybe just for today, try it, write that list, draw the line, put the heavy, scary stuff on the right side.
And please, don't forget the sigh of relief.
The sigh is mandatory. Treat it like a real contract. Let the universe handle the how, and you just focus on your coffee.
It might just be the most productive resignation letter you ever sign.
Thanks for being with us to the end.
If it helped, hit like, leave a short comment and share it with someone who'd enjoy it. Every share helps more people find us.
And don't forget to stay subscribed to Karizmatik. The best is yet to come.
See you in the next episode. Stay charismatic.
Karizmatik.